สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. One of my most popular recipes on YouTube and on hotthaikitchen.com is pad gaprao or holy basil stir fry that everyone loves. Now I've shown you two recipes of pad gaprao in the past, one with ground chicken and another one with ground beef that's more of an old school style. Today, I want to share not just another recipe, but a formula that will allow you to make any kind of pad gaprao you want. Because I make pad gaprao all the time with all sorts of things. Any kind of protein, including any cold leftover protein that might be lingering in my fridge. And today I'm going to show you how to work with both of those. It's such a great trick to have in your pocket because it's a really quick and easy way to upgrade your stir fries. And I follow the same formula every time. It works every time. So this might just be the last pad gaprao recipe you will ever need. Let's get started. First, let's make the sauce. I'm going to combine some oyster sauce, soy sauce, and fish sauce. These three are what I call the trinity of stir-fry sauces. I'm also going to add some Thai black soy sauce for a richer color and flavor. You can also use dark soy sauce for this. And then some sugar and a little water to help the sugar dissolve so that when we pour it out of the bowl, the sugar doesn't settle and stick to the bottom. So you want to make sure you stir that up. Now for the garlic chili paste, which is the base of pad gaprao. I'm going to start with some spicy Thai chilies. Put as many as you can tolerate here and pound that into a fine paste because we don't want chunks of this potent stuff. And I like to cover it with my hand initially because I don't want this jumping into my eyes. Ask me how I know. Yeah. Then I'm going to add some mild red chilies that I've cut up, more on this in a bit, and some garlic. And now I'm going to pound it into a rough paste. You can even make a large batch of this paste in a food processor and then freeze it in portions to make this quick dish even quicker. A quick note on the chilies. We want to add a lot of red chilies to this for the right flavor. But how many of those are hot and how many are mild can be up to you. This is where we adjust the heat. This is why we're adding two different types. For the hot ones, Thai chilies or bird's eye chilies are great. For the mild ones in Thailand, we use spur chilies, which look like this. It's a little frosty because I keep them frozen. But this can be anything you've got access to that's mild, and it's going to vary from wherever you live. Here, I can also find these little bell pepper type things that work really well. Worst case, regular red bell pepper will also work. It's a little more watery than ideal, but it's not a problem. The most classic version of pad gaprao uses ground meat, and I showed that in my last two videos, but today I want to demonstrate with something more common. One, any kind of raw protein that you have, represented today by boneless, skinless chicken thigh, but this could be chicken breast, can be pork tenderloin, anything you want. And two, leftover cooked protein that you might have in your fridge, represented today by this cold steak that I made yesterday. This could be roast turkey leftovers, it could be rotisserie chicken, it could be pork chops, really anything you want. It could even be leftover roasted vegetables. It's not a protein, but it'll still work. If you want to do tofu, it is possible. I do have some tips specific to tofu, which I will talk about in the blog post linked below. All right, and here is how you prep your proteins. For the raw protein, simply cut it into small bite-sized pieces. Don't make it chunky for pad gaprao. You want small pieces of meat. But if you're dealing with lean protein like chicken breast, you also don't want to make it too thin so it doesn't overcook so quickly. I'm going to marinate this simply with a splash of fish sauce to give it some flavor and give it a good mix. For cooked protein, for this steak, I'm just going to trim off the fat cap here, but you don't have to. And then the meat, again, I'm going to cut it into bite-sized pieces that are not too chunky. And because this is presumably already seasoned, there's no need for us to marinate this with anything. And by the way, if your cooked protein is already quite salty to start, you might want to go light on the sauce. If you're starting with raw protein, I like to sear it off first in a very hot wok or skillet. It is not necessary, but this gives us some nice browning for extra flavor. And if you like to meal prep, you can cook all your meats off in advance, keep it in the fridge, and your weeknight meals will be even faster. Now, the basil. Today is an auspicious day because I found real holy basil to show all of you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is called gaprao, hence the name of this dish, pad gaprao. Now, this is not available in most places in North America, including Vancouver, where I live. I had to drive 1 hour through a rainstorm to get this for you. Well, Adam drove. I just sat in the car. But anyway, it is most of the time very, very difficult to find. So if you don't have it, regular Italian basil is my preferred substitute. But Thai basil, which is much more available, you can find this at most Asian markets, is also fine. But I do think Italian basil is a closer flavor match. But doesn't matter, it'll be delicious either way. This is gonna go really quickly, so all your ingredients need to be ready to go at arm's reach, okay? I'm gonna demonstrate, and celebrate. I'm going to demonstrate with my cut up steak here, but it is the exact same process with the chicken or anything else that you're using, all right? Okay, let's go. If you use your wok to sear your protein, there's no need to clean it unless there's burnt bits on it. You wanna get rid of that, but otherwise it is fine. Turn the heat back on just medium for now because I'm gonna saute my garlic. A little more oil. And I don't want the heat to be too high or it will burn my garlic chili paste too fast. Okay. If anyone is sensitive to chilies, you might want to tell them to exit the room at this point. Don't exit the room, please. Okay, so just a few minutes until you start to see bits of garlic turn golden. Okay. I can see now some bits of my garlic is starting to turn golden. I'm gonna add some chopped onion. This is optional. You don't have to add anything, or you can add other kinds of chopped vegetables. I do like pad kaprao to have some element of crunch. Chopped long beans is great, but this is a great place to use up any like odd ends that you've got of random vegetables in your fridge. It's not traditional, but hey, it's good. Okay, just give my onions just like 30 seconds or so because I don't want them to be super soft. Okay, I'm gonna up the heat. And now I'm gonna go in with my steak and my sauce. And so, if you didn't bother pre-cooking, pre-searing your protein, you can just add it in raw right now and just keep cooking until it's done. You're not gonna get that nice browning, but it'll be fine. And because I'm using steak, I really do not wanna overcook my steak here, so I just need to get it hot and then be done with it. So just a solid 30 seconds in and out of the pan. Wow, that is looking so good already. Okay, I'm offing the heat and in goes tons and tons of our precious holy basil. Yes, it should look like there's just as much basil as there is meat in there because it'll all wilt down. And holy basil is not that strong in terms of aroma compared to, say, Thai basil. So you really need to treat it more like a vegetable than a herb to get that aroma. Whew, that looks good. Nice. Look at that. And how easy was that, right? The smell, the smell. I'm going crazy because this is the first time I've smelled real holy basil in this kitchen in forever. First time ever. Look at that. The little garnish. So excited. By the way, the pad kaprao that we made, this style is more of a modern style. I do have a video for a more traditional old school style that's a bit simpler. I will link to below, but as an all-purpose sauce, I do prefer this modern version. So while you weren't looking, I also made the chicken version using our chicken that we cooked up, and also I made a fried egg, which is a classic accompaniment, but it is not required. All right, let's try it. So hungry. And then the egg goes on top. And then of course, the condiment that goes on top of the egg for pad gaprao is prik nam pla, a simple condiment that will improve anything and everything. I have a video for it I will link to. I'm gonna try it without the egg first. Man, the aroma touched, like, entered my system, and I was just like, oh yes, this is the smell I've been craving. So delicious. And I have to say that beef and pad gaprao is probably my favorite combination. Something about that beefiness flavor just works with this herb so incredibly well. Let me try this chicken one now. With egg this time. Also good. I'm really fighting the urge to keep eating now, but I need to wrap up this video. Like, words fail me. Words fail me. This was so simple, so quick, and it will just transform any plain, boring protein that you've got. So I encourage you to really give this a try. If you can't find holy basil, regular basil will be fine. Or if you're a gardener, try growing it. Not easy, but it's possible, they tell me. But it is just such an amazing dish. It is no wonder that this is one of the most popular Thai dishes of all time. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. A special thanks to all of our Patreon members who help support the show. If you want to know what that's all about, how you can get direct access to me in our Discord, I'll put the link in the description below. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ